So hello everybody and welcome back to another live stream, and we are live with another race with F1 CRR, as it is Cockpit Real Racing. It is, as we are back with another live stream, and I'm sure it's going to be an amazing one, just like the first one was. As here we're going to just try and enable everything around, as we are again with 5 drivers in the session, but Ronin is your new one. Ronin 1978. It was in the first round. In fact, we have a change from the first round, where it was No Steppo who finished in fact second place, but finished third because of a penalty. But that penalty was then removed and turned out to be, and I think we don't have the audio, if I am not wrong. Let me check. In fact, I don't have the audio myself. This definitely has to be something wrong with it. This must be back now, and yes, it is back now. In fact, apologies for that, but we are now going to see all the drivers around and out on track, and Chris doesn't waste any time to come back out on track, and it is in fact the same C2 cars that there were from 1988 and 91, and Chris is in a Ferrari this time, and the ones out on the track are absolutely Chris Neifer, the man who finished first and finished by many seconds, over 20 seconds that victory was. And that is going to be Ronin still in the pits, not yet out. Chris Neifer in second place, of course, without a lap at the moment. No Sebo in 5th place. I think we're missing no assist. We are in fact not missing him out there. We're missing Mr. Krico from the previous Grand Prix. And it is certain out there as well. He's sure going to be trying to get closer and closer to those top guys as well. I'm sure it's going to be very exciting between all the drivers around. Sure, it might not be all of them at the moment, but it will be fantastic in this race. It'll of course be a short qualifying, and there you go. This McLaren 1991 McLaren that gets starting a flying lap into turn 1. He goes very wide. A little did he do, and into the Senaises now. Just navigating through that on the exit. Very easy to twist the car on that curb, but he manages to get it fantastically out, and he's going to go through it in the end of the first sector. And that is Kaufman, but that is not a real driver, as we're going to focus on to Chris, and he probably is at the moment, I think, on a flying lap, and that is actually the one who started this flying lap very fast. So this is the man we're going to be having a look at, and we'll see if anyone could come closer to him though. I think his real challenger would be No Sebo, and Certain I think it needs to pick up his game, and really could pick up his game, but I think we'll see what is going to be around and what time it'll be for Chris. Now for the moment, cross that line is going to be coming out. The fastest time at the moment, 20.7, but sure, he's going to go a lot faster than that. Or is he going to be going any faster? Sure, he will be by over 4-5 tenths, and that is going to be 19.5. Very quick for him. But what about all the drivers behind that were on a flying lap? And No Sebo's went, in fact, very fast. So sure, Chris's lap wasn't really good. As I said, his lap was not that good enough. And No Sebo's went out on pole position already, and that is 117.9, and Certain 118.4. Chris quite very slow though, 19.5. I think sure that has seen out, and no assist is going to be another one to be completing his flying lap. In fact, he's just starting it, so he's not going to be completing it yet though. We could go and have a look at Ronin. He's at least just, and he's in fact right behind no assist as well. So 3 drivers having their lap times done, 2 drivers yet to do anything, and I'm sure they're going to be looking to improve. They're going to be looking to do the most they can with the given opportunities, and it's going to be as exciting as ever, as we still got a lot of time remaining in this session. And Ronin and no assist, but the drivers, no assist, remember, had a horrible of a race. I'm sure he could improve, and he would be looking to get back on where he would need to. I'm sure he had a horrible race from his previous times, but is No Sebo going to try and improve? Sure, he will be going to go for an improvement, but is it going to be an improvement? And yes, that is going to be about 3.3, just more than 3.5 tenths. But what about Certain then across that finish line? That is not going to be an improvement, and Chris is coming into the pits as he invalidated his lap. So No Sebo now is has set the benchmark, and that is going to be the one for everyone else to get. And where is no assist across that finish line? That is going to be 19.6. It's in fact a 10th down on Chris though, but we still have one man, the man that we'll be looking at, and that'll be Ronan, who's just completed his lap as well. He's just 7,000 of a second behind no assists, but I'm sure that competition probably would be between these guys. And No Sebo at the moment has the quickest time of all. He's currently on pole position. No Sebo with a lap time of 1:17.553, and sure, he knows it. He's really done a very good lap, but I'm sure Chris Sniper is not going to be sitting behind. Even in Austin, he lost the lead in the turn 1, but sure, got it back without any worries. And in fact, there's going to be a new challenger to all of these drivers, and that is Ronan. At least he's better than Mr. Kriko, who in fact was the first one in Austin to crash out and made a few mistakes against fighting the AI. Couldn't do much. But sure, we'll see what all of these guys can do. And already we're seeing Chris come out on the track and waste no time to be back out on track and do the best they can. And Sertan's now just starting his flying lap as well. Every single one of these guys. No Sebo just down in the middle sector on his previous lap, almost going in the wall there. That is a very tricky place to crash out. And sure, there could have been a big crash if he missed it out there. But sure, at the moment he hasn't, and it's very easy, as Ronan has improved. In fact, as we were just focused on others, Ronan has improved it massively, as now Sertan's almost stuck behind the AI, and that is going to make him lose a lot of time. And sure, he's not going to be happy about that, and he'll just be looking to find a way to get past very soon. At the moment, no assist, also improved, in fact, 119.1, but he's far behind the car ahead. But Chris Sniper at the moment, I'm sure he will find the time, but he needs to do it ASAP. And now No Sebo many seconds behind in the middle sector as well. Sure, the man who would be looking to improve would be certain. He well has a chance of pole position. Sure, he's far off it, but he maybe has a chance to keep the second place at least to himself. But is he going to come into the pits? He in fact is going to come into the pits. So he in fact completed his flying lap. I thought there was an in lap. I thought there was a flying lap though. That was complete my misjudgment. But what about this man then? No assist, looking to improve even more. Sure, he knows there is much time available, but he's in fact is going to be improving, but with just 15,000th of a second. That is not going to give him any position, but maybe make his chance stronger if Chris is not able to do another lap, and he's already improving by 3/10. But we'll see if Chris is going to be able to challenge No Sebo though. That is the main question. Usually he's the challenge, but is he going to be able to challenge others tonight? In fact, today I shall say in this qualifying session, it is going to be only a matter of time before we see if he's going to be able to put that on at the top, put that at the time. In fact, now Ronan is more close to certain than he is to No Assist. No Assist finding a little improvements, but not enough. But what about Chris the man? He's improving by over a second, and sure, his lap time is going to be a lot, improved by a lot. But how much is it going to be across that finish line? It is going to be Chris Sniper, and at the end of it, that is going to be P2. Goes on to the front row with a lap time of 1:18.1. And No Sebo still very clear of him. 1:17.5. But I'm sure Chris is not going to stay behind, nor he's going to do anything. He's not going to waste any time to improve, and he's going to improve by another 4/10s. And sure, he knew that there was enough time to improve on the second run, and sure, he's doing it already. And No Sebo knows the pressure is real, and the chances of fighting for the pole position or having given a fight to Chris Sniper might not be true. Sure, he might be able to just snatch off a front row, but I think the fight from P3 to P5 is going to be absolutely nice as well, at least between Ronan and Certain. I'm hoping that No Sebo at least gives it a go today at Chris and finds it, and hopefully gives us some entertainment that we are looking for, all of us. Looking for an entertainment, looking for some better driving from any of others except for Chris. Of course, everyone does best according to their capacity, but Chris is just into another leg, but is it going to be any competition to it? But at this time, is Chris going to be any competition to others? And across that finish line, that he's going to be. He's just going to miss out on pole position by a few hundredths of a second, and that is P2 again. He does improve by a lot, but not by a position, and No Servo's lap time might just be enough. I'm sure that's not going to be enough. Chris is going to go on another lap, because in these cars, you have no DRS and no ERS, so that means also in qualifying, a good thing is that you don't need to recharge battery or do a lap that you would want like a cool down lap. But sure, his tires are now outdated and gripped out. That is not going to do anything, and those tires are not going to be doing much for Chris Neifer at the moment. Running on a flying lap 1:18.1. He is improving, and sure, rather he might be a challenge to the top guys then if he's able to just find a little bit more time. I think Stearton's now improving the first sector as well. But at the moment, across that first sector, that is going to be for Ronan. He's trying his best, and 100% level best he can. At the moment, he's P3, and sure, he's way faster than Stearton. Maybe Stearton's chances of a podium might not be there. I'm sure he wants that podium, and he wants that more than anybody else. But he's going to try and get it done in qualifying, because anything, and now Ronan is going very, very slow. That means he's on an out lap, and he's going to let others pass, and No Servo's on an out lap. So one man we only have at the moment to get to, to have a look at, and that is Stearton across, and sure, he's improving at least in the middle sector, but how much by? Is he going to be any closer to the top guys? Is he going to be any closer to the front row as well? He's far away from them at the moment, and across that finish line, that is going to be 17.7. What a lap! And that brings him even closer, surely. We're seeing a lot, at least for the first first two runs, we're seeing so much competition than we saw in Austin, and that was Stearton in P3. I was thinking that he might not be even able to catch up to Ronan, but now Ronan has to do a lot more than he would have wished for. And that is going to be some excellence by everybody out there. What about No Servo at the moment? Is he on a flying lap? Surely he is, but he might be on an in lap, or he would have just started his flying lap at the moment. And Stearton looking to do the best he can, and No Servo definitely slowing down. I think he might have thought to let Stearton pass, but he might have not had the chance. What about Stearton? Then doesn't improve, at least in the first sector, but I'm sure he's going to try and get it best out there, get it the most he can. And I'm sure he's going to be looking to improve as soon as possible and get to the top. And I'm sure now, within 2/10, it is still a big margin though, but how much it was in Austin, I think in terms of that, it's not that much. And I'm sure all of these guys know they might be able to just find very, very little improvements. And across that finish line, that is going to be no improvement at all. 118.2 for Stearton though, surely not what he would have wanted, but I think he wouldn't be worried about that at all. That was his second run on those tyres, and I think that is going to be not much he'd be worrying about. And No Servo finds a little more even improvement by about 400ths of a second in the very first sector, and sure, the threat to Chris is becoming a reality threat to Chris as well. To Chris's pole position, that might be in danger at the moment. I'm sure the final laps are not done yet, so you cannot say much about that. But sure, that little pressure, that little competition. Remember, in the post-race interview, we asked Chris that we hope to see some improvement, and that is over 6/10, almost 6/10 in the middle sector for No Servo. He's going to go even more faster, and sure, that reality, this pole might be his today, but we have to see how much faster he goes across that finish line, and that is 16.9. Sure, the track is improving, track is ramping up, and track evolution is becoming a thing out here, as it is 116.9. That is going to be real performance. But what about Stearton? He's really close, but not close enough still. I think he needs to pit with just 3 minutes now remaining in this qualifying session. Needs to get a brand new set of tyres and get out on a flying lap to try and get onto racing as quick as possible. Sure, Neifer is improving as well. Sure, both of these guys, I think it would be really close, and I'm sure it'll be really close than how it's usually been, and it would definitely be amazing for all of us watching as well. And he almost loses it there. That Would have been disaster if he did lose it out there, but I'm sure he's going to try and not lose it at all and have the maximum performance that he would want for his pole position to take, and I'm sure he doesn't want to give up that idea, and that is very close again out there. That is going to be interesting to get things around. We'll see what it's going to be for Chris Snifer at the moment. He's just got that middle sector. He's over a second down. Surely he's not improving. And sure, that little moment we saw him having that, and that is definitely not going to be in his best interest he would have wished for. And Certan's right behind him, and he's going to pick up a lot of slipstream though from Snifer, and that is going to be very close between the two. Snifer's not going to improve. What about Certan though? Both of them are not really going to improve. Sure, they would not be improving at all, but sure, Chris is on brand new tires and he would be looking to improve, but if he does not find enough time to improve, that is going to be pole position for Certan, which would be very interesting now, as in fact Chris just moves a pass and Certan at the moment. Certan's not improving at all, but Ronan is going to try and improve. No assist at the moment, also looking to try and find the best time he can, but he's not able to do that at all. He just can't go any faster. But what about these guys then? Chris at the moment, sure, looking to get into just before the middle sector then. But what about Ronan? Sure, he was closer to that. He in fact is now closer, but he's 2.5 seconds down, so he's not improving as well. Just then, now we have an idea how good of No Sebo's lap was. Sure, he couldn't find much at the start, and there you go, there is Certan. He's going apart and going off out there, and that might be his qualifying over then. He's surely he might, only if he's able to get to that checkered flag, but his tires are over 4 laps old, and that is not going to do much help to him, so that is probably going to be his P3 unless the others behind could improve. And now Chris is not able to improve as well. He's having to be honest, a horrible stand, and No Sebo still trying to improve. I think these guys have really switched lives at this moment, but how much it makes the effect from Austin to Brazil, how much effect the 4 days make, that sees these guys perform, that sees these guys get to the top of this qualifying session with only 6 seconds now remaining. Anyone who crosses the line is not going to be able to do that one more time, and no assist is going to be finishing. Certan's taking the checkered flag, going to the pits, and no assist will do that as well. He in fact just manages to get into the session, but what about Ronan at the moment? Chris is trying his best. He's trying everything he can to improve it. He's just not able to find any improvements, and I think surely No Sebo, he's really done it fantastic. I think his qualifying is done, unless there is something last minute from Chris. That is going to be really Chris-like driving if he manages to find something last minute though. But I'm sure No Sebo's in a fantastic lap. That's far away, and running just improves by 15,000 of a second, but that is going to see him P4, at least one better than No Assist, who's still not improving, who could not improve at all. What about Chris? And there's a little bit of moment. He's almost going to crash and hit the wall. That was really close out there. He's surely on that exit. Not finding any grip, and is he going to put it in the wall? Just going into the pits. That was very, very close on the exit of the final corner, and that would have been disastrous. Having a crash, that would have really lost his. He would have really lost his confidence and his unwanted crash to have this team make repairs, to have this team make some extra works before the Grand Prix starts. And sure, it's going to be fantastic, and it's going to be absolutely amazing, as we are going to be starting very, very soon into the Grand Prix. And as soon as that starts, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. That will be the 50% race here around the Brazilian Grand Prix in Sao Paulo. Everybody's now in the pits, and now the qualifying session has ended. Everybody looking to do the best they can. No Assist in the end, did really improve, but not by much, and couldn't find any improvements, and that is going to be now pole position. That is going to be pole for No Sebo, that is, with a great lap of 1:16.9. Fantastic pole position. That is the run in the man on screen, but sure, we're not really focused on him. We would be focused on the man, No Sebo, very, very soon. This is the qualifying. He took pole by almost 6 tenths. This is the biggest gap, really. He's really having that, taking that in that McLaren, but it's going to be fantastic. Later, just Chris behind him on the front row, still not far away, and the race could happen. Anything could happen in that Grand Prix, and I'm sure it's going to be absolutely exceptional. With just 10 seconds remaining, we should be going on to the Grand Prix very soon. And apologies guys, we're just having a little bit of thing, but I'm sure that's going to be fixed. And that is raining, We of course have no data to the radar, and that is going to be exceptionally hard for all these drivers to perform and do what they can. But I'm sure this is going to be exceptionally amazing for all of us to watching out there as well, and of course all of you watching and for the action of racing as well. That is going to be fantastic to see. Rain, and even these cars are really hard to control in the dry conditions. How much hard is it going to be in those rainy conditions? Sure can't wait for that. That is going to be exceptional. It's of course going to be, as if you've just joined us, we are on live with F1 with CRR for the Classics Championship, and it's fantastic pole battle we had in qualifying session, and that is going to be exceptional start. Definitely a great chance for No Sebo to take on the driver's title chance as well. Sure, Chris dominated the previous championship, and he was looking on to dominate at least for time being as well. In Austin, he won by over 20 seconds. But sure, he's just got his first protagonist and title rival, No Sebo, who did finish second in the previous Grand Prix, and he's just got another chance of doing that as well. And this time, he has a better chance, and a chance that might see him finish first. So that is just 30 seconds now before we will progress into the Brazilian Grand Prix live. 5 red lights it'll be, and in the rainy conditions that is going to be as hard as it can be, and definitely hard as we are already beginning. But that should be the formation lap. We should not be having any problems out there, and that will be the formation lap. In fact, No Sebo just getting off the line, and that'll be some wet tires, and these cars aren't the easier ones to control, that is for sure. And I have as much little experience I have of these cars, I'm telling you that much. These are really hard to control, and even in the rain it's even more. But I'm sure it's going to be as exciting as ever and fantastic as it can be. But you don't want to go anywhere. Stick here and wait for the best chances of the Grand Prix. So it is going to be 36 laps of the Brazilian Grand Prix. We're just beginning with the Grand Prix race though, as we are on to just at the end of qualifying session, where No Sebo qualified P1 with a lap time of 1:16.9, which is a fantastic lap, and I'm sure he'll remember it at least till the next race, and I'm sure only he'll remember it. I hope so, for good reasons, because nothing's gonna mean anything if he's not able to put it into pole position or in fact into a race win, which he desperately needs at the moment. He finished second to Chris Neifer after his penalty was restained and proved a basically a not needed penalty that sure he didn't need. It didn't do anything, and now the leaders are just parked up there. That is Chris out there in P2. Sure would be looking to take the jump, looking to do the revamp and looking to do Uno reverse pretty much. That Sebo had a chance. Yeah, Sebo had a reverse. Sebo had a good start, better start than Chris in fact in Austin, and had a good restart. Had a good start than him. What about Certain in P3? Sure would be looking to rather defend from running than trying to overtake Chris, though. I think it's the race start, and anything could happen out there. It's going to be 5 red lights, and we go racing here in Sao Paulo, and it is going to be Chris trying to get a better start than Nosebo right away. We're going to try and fall behind these guys. Have a look at these guys. Nosebo is fantastically went into turn 1, keeping his race lead, though. That is a great start. Definitely the best he could have wished for. Into the center axis, he's going to go take that race lead. As into turn 1, Ronin has fallen massively behind his legs. He's losing so many positions at least out there. He's definitely not a start he would have wished for. And he might have just been jumped by no assist. He in fact has been jumped by no assist. And as it stands, no assist is in P4 at the moment. As it stands, it is Nosebo going very, very wide, and that is going to allow Chris Neifer to take the race lead. And very, very early, it's the first mistake from Nosebo, and that is going to lose his race lead. And now Serton's going to try and make a move on Sebo as well. That is fantastic. Really early. This is what rainy conditions do. This is what Brazil does just at the beginning, and that is going to be losing positions. Lost very early. Sebo in 3rd place, looking to get back his 2nd place. Not only 2nd place, but victory as well. And no assist currently in 4th place. He might not be far away from the battle as well. Sure, he can do better as well. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean if you didn't do good in qualifying, you won't be able in the race as well. But Chris is already 1.6 seconds ahead, and that's what I said. No Sebo would have the day to forget if he's not able to win this Grand Prix. Such a great pole position, and I see a car spinning behind. Not spinning, but in fact going behind, and that is running in last place. Just these rainy conditions not having the best of these drivers. He just had a spin and he lost it all, and Chris is already 2 seconds ahead of these guys. And Sebo's going to try and throw a move on the inside line into turn 1, as he's going to run very, very wide, and that is going to be not only him, but Chris is going to run wide as well. And that is going to allow Serton to get closer to him, and now he's going to make a mistake. These rainy conditions are not easy at all, and none of these guys are having it easy at all. And this is definitely not the race leader. Serton's having his Chris is having his few moments, and definitely these rainy conditions are going to be anyone's game today. One mistake caused could be disaster, and definitely these guys don't want to do that. As it stands, we're already on lap 3 out of 36, which is going to be exceptional to watch at this moment. These guys, Sebo and Certain. Remember, Sebo attempted a dive bomb that definitely didn't go the way he would have wanted it, and sure, that is the outcome we're seeing out here at the moment. As it stands, he's currently in P3, wasn't able to overtake Certain, and might even lose the position to no assist if he does make another mistake, but I'm sure he won't be though. But the race leader is already pulling away drastically. Really pulling away, and almost makes a mistake there. These slides in these cars are really easy to have. Does he have one though? Surely we don't want to see crashes though, but maybe some mistakes from the others to try and get these guys as closer for the battle as well. These guys battled in Austin a lot of the time. They're going to do it again, and Neifer's going to put another fastest lap. That is absolutely just easy game for him in qualifying. Sure, either he was just not going up to his full potential for the race, but I'm sure he would have never tried to get back, and not in a better way. And this is going to be a chance for Nosebo to regain his position. He's going to just get that slipstream from Certain and go into, at the end of the first sector, into turn That is, and they're still will to will. They're fighting it out, but Sebo really has the grip and traction. But in fact, it is certain that is taking the place, second place. He did not give it up, and no, Sebo doesn't really have the confidence in the rain that he might have had in the dry conditions that took him pole position. But he really misses that, that's for sure. And Ronin at the moment, as I just said, that he's just better than some of the drivers for not fighting the AI, but at the moment he really has to fight the AI. That is not really going to do much for him at this moment. Serton's really keeping up on to second place. He got second place, remember, but he was demoted back to P3 after Sebo's penalty was removed. But no assist today so far, at least so far. Time being, hopefully that's commentator's curse, doesn't it though? But so far he's making no mistakes, and Serton almost made one, and that is going to be a big mistake that he's going to see. No, Sebo take back second place, and these guys might be going back and forth for the whole Grand Prix as it stands, because Chris is pulling away, and these guys are closer, and one mistake forces the other to go round, and now no assist has went for it. What a brave move that would have been, and that would have been that would have been really disaster. I think just enough brakes from him to not collide into the driver ahead, but that would have been really big disaster, because that's not what you want. Surely you want some overtakes, but not dive bombing. That's not the correct way to really overtake on the track. Just would have to drink some water out there, just screaming out of my lungs at the moment. But we're on to lap 4 out of lap 36 at the moment. 3.6 seconds. The race leader has pulled far away, and really away that far away in the distance. 3.4 seconds at the moment. This might not be much. This might not look much at the moment, but if he's able to continue that pace, he's going to pull away far from these guys. And sure, I think No Sebo's big chance of a victory after starting for a pole position might have faded away already, which he would have definitely wanted to keep that and wished to keep that, but that is not the case, at least at the moment. I mean, you never know though. Still got about 33 laps, 32 laps of this race remaining. Anything could happen though. Any mistakes from any other driver could really be delight for him. In 3.1 seconds now, he's in fact gaining back on Christopher. Chris puts another fastest lap, but sure, now Sebo puts another fastest lap as well. 1:34.1. Sure, he's going to try and bring his pace alive after making a few mistakes here and there, and then getting stuck behind Certain. That wouldn't have been the best of interest for No Sebo. But as it stands, down to lap 5 out of 36, it's going to be 2.9 seconds, and there is a car going behind, and that is going to be Certain, who went very wide out there. He in fact didn't went wide, just on the exits. The rain is not letting it easy on all of these guys, and definitely that mistake will cost him P3 at the moment. No assist. I think sure he's done a fantastic job today. On the previous race he didn't do much good, but today he's going to do really good to take that mistakes opportunity of Certain onto his podium, which is going to be exceptional. Of course, nothing could be said much at the moment, but sure, he's giving it everything. And going in, and there's another driver running at the moment, 3.8 seconds ahead of the next driver, just behind the next driver that's ahead of him, about 3 seconds. But sure, the man, the myth, Chris, 2.7 seconds. Chris might be just very feeling that pressure. He definitely wouldn't have felt this much anxious that he might have had in this race so far. 2.6 seconds is a huge gap, but considering he won by over 20 seconds the first race, this might be sending some anxiety through him, and that definitely will. That lap from No Sebo is 1:33.8. That is far quicker, and as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, as long as he doesn't overdo things, he should be very good for the time being. And Certain at the moment, 2.2 seconds. In fact, he's gaining again and again on no assist. No assist, not that quick, but sure, if he doesn't make any mistakes today, sure, he made a lot of them in the first one, but this would then be very good. And this is a little slide from Chris Sniper out there. This track is really tricky though, especially in the wets. That is not letting these drivers have a good breathe, have a good little time out there though. Sure, Chris, at the moment he's enjoying the still 2.5 seconds the gap, and he's not letting it getting any closer, but the gap, once it is within at least second or a half a second, with these cars having no DRS or battery, so at least you need half a second for that battery. And there's a yellow flag out there. Who is it? So it's at least no one from that top 4, but it might be Ronin again. Has he done something? He really hasn't at this point though. He's actually far away from the next car ahead. But that is going to be... Are we going to see any move from these guys? Not really much though. We should be focused on these 2.9 seconds. No Sebo's tires might be going out. And in fact we need to enable these... some details out there which we missed. There we go. We're going to see about stops. But in fact tire... That is going to be full wet tires for everybody out there. And getting this now, we will only now know that who has the better lap and a better way performing, and that is a tenth quicker than his previous lap for in fact Chris Knifer it is, and that is going to be, I think, a lot slower for No Sebo at the moment. Sure, he needs to be quicker every lap, and only then he's going to be able to do that. Sure, he had a few fastest laps, but I think Chris, even Chris knows that he can let him have that as long as Chris is going to finish up ahead at the top of the timings as it is at the moment. Lap 7 out of 36 it is. P3, Noah is still maintaining it though. Gap is falling behind 1.2 seconds. This is the closest battle at the moment in the race we have, which is No Certain now looking to do the best he can. He would really be looking to get his position back, looking to get his race, his third place back that he lost by making a mistake. I think no assist if he's able to make some progress with that pace-wise, which he's kind of struggling though, because No Certain just went about 3.5 tenths quicker in that middle sector, and so does Chris though at the moment, going very quicker, but Certain now still 1.4 seconds the gap between the two. Noah just manages to improve a little bit on his final on this lap at least, but for how long is this going to take? For how long is this going to be like this? Only time will tell, as we are going to be now heading on to lap 8 onto the straight right after the 10 ISs. But ensure in no time, as it stands, it is going to be Certain now really losing time. I think No Assist has picked up some pace then. Sure, as we said he was going to lose it, he might just be able to picking up the pace now at this as it stands. No Assist currently P3 in 1.5 seconds. Surely I think the final sector of the Grand Prix might be the one that is losing time at, or maybe the middle sector, but at least for the first sector as it's concerned, he is not that slow and he might be quick enough. And I think any mistake if he doesn't make, that might just be beneficial to him. But is it going to be beneficial to him at least this time around on the middle, on the main straight though now? Now Certain's going to be following and Noah Assist very closely. He might fancy a move down the inside line, or is he going to be close enough to make that dive bomb? I don't think so. But he's going to be very close to make a move. He almost makes a mistake out there, almost locking up out there. But sure, he needs to know. In fact, he knows that he doesn't need to make any of those mistakes, because if he does so, he's going to lose that chance of a P3, and he almost have that little slide. Exact same moment that he lost his P3, he might lose his P4 as well. Sure, the gap behind is far much than it was earlier though in P4, but sure, this is going to be very risky. And not only he has to overtake No Assist, knowing that he's not that quicker than him, but this is what you love. These wet conditions providing an equal performance stop for anyone who has to show, who may be better in wets than they would be in dries. And there he goes, and through goes Certain on it. No Assist went really, really wide out there, and Certain's not going to leave any of those chances at least. Sure, No Assist was doing enough, but at the moment he is not. He just has to, he's just let Certain pass out there. Unless he illegally overtake him, I don't see that No Assist letting him pass without any reason. I'm sure he didn't let him pass, he just ran wide, and there was no chance for him now. And Certain, I think, has to sit out there unless he could. He's getting attacked back again from No Assist. I'm sure Assist is not going to leave him, and that is Knifer into the pits already. Does he have any damage? He might not, but I think sure he's just going to try and make this race interesting at this moment. He's going to pit currently. He's going to come out in P4. Might come even later, but P4 is going to be the one, and that will be the one in fact. Or who's going to be closing about there? Chris exiting the pit. Kaufman right behind in P5, but it is going to be Chris exiting in P4. These guys still staying close. No Assist really not going anywhere. Doesn't matter if he's not able to do much. Sure, it doesn't matter for him at the moment. He knows, and he's trying his best to do the best as well. As it stands now, we're really seeing these guys still staying closer, not providing much battle at the moment though, with No Sebu currently in the race lead after Chris had to pit. He's still 4.4 seconds at 4.4 seconds. Oh, he almost loses out there on the exit. He struggled throughout the race on that exact same corner, just like Certain, who's struggled on just onto the exit of these Senna-S's. But this is going to be exciting to see if No Assist is able to go for a move around the outside. He thought for a moment out there, but he's struggling. He's really struggling out there. What about Certain then? Does he go very smooth? He's going really smooth out there. I'm sure he's not even full throttle on the exit, because especially in the wet, that is very tricky. And that part is what really you need to be very careful on, because if you are not, that is going to end in a disaster, and really in an unwanted way, that's for sure. It is going to be the time, and the gap is in fact less than a second, which it was, but sure, that is going to be only getting better and better, and excited as we progress through the race. We're on lap 11 out of 36. We've got one pit stop from Chris now for the moment. Not sure if anybody else is going to try and pit, but we might see others pitting as well. As it stands, No Assist now, No Sebu now in the race lead by 9.9 seconds. Huge, far off he is the rest of the field, but he's a pit stop behind. I think pretty much he's went for an undercut really, Chris. Otherwise he's went for an undercut, and now there might be a chance for No Assist to try and get overtaken by Chris, and Chris is going to do it. He's pitted, he's came out P4, and he's already overtaken a driver, and he almost chips off his front right tyre onto No Assist's car. That would have been very, very disastrous for him. That was very close though, but Joris went through, and that is another position for Chris, and that is going to be, he might be having a try. He might be already looking at the car ahead to overtake, and that is indeed going to be the car, which will be of Certain, currently in second place, but just a second ahead on the road of Chris, and Chris has been rather dominated of all these guys so far, but we'll see what it says. Almost a little bit of a mistake, could be causing much for him. Don't know why though. Chris has pitted very early. I think these wet tires would have, if not the full race, would have at least done some part of it. That wouldn't really require a pit stop within just 10 laps, but I think he might have just done it to get things around, and now he's going to be very close out there. He's going to try and make a move. Sure, he's holding it off because he knows that there's a chance, going to be a chance at that main straight, but he's going to go for it on the inside line. He rather thought do it sooner than later, and he's been successful there. I think no assist's chance was to try and get closer while these guys are going out there. I think we'll see what these guys can do. This guy time now, I think there's now a proper chance for no assist. Get in this gap. Had that less than half a second. This is very close. Is he going to go for that move? Might have thought for that for a moment, but that is not going to become true, as that is going to be, he's going to be far, far away out there, and he would not want that at all. Not at all. But sure, at the moment, no Seb, but 3 seconds. He's on 12 lap, all full wet tires. But sure, as it stands, it's going pretty clear of this. This is going to be exciting though. What about Ronan then? We haven't heard of this man much, but we might have had though, even if he had fought some AI drivers, which he has, but not really gaining massively on them, which is not a disadvantage, but surely an AI level has been set, so too much slow AI could even cause problems. But we'll see what these guys can do. Surely these two are going to provide a race-long battle, which they did in the previous Grand Prix as well, and same here around today. It's going to be P3 and P4. It's going to be no assist and certain Penna. It's going to be fantastic. Surely much they want, and it's going to be exceptional. As it stands now on that main straight, there's going to be a proper chance for no assist, but he almost made that mistake, and that is going to be very not so good enough for no assists, because definitely these not only for him, I think everyone that's out there, and Ronan's now going to try and make that move, but Yasser is going to come back at him. Is there real to will, because that car is going to try and get Beckham, and definitely that Jordan, in fact that Benetton I shall say, has got the better of the McLaren, and that is going to be very risky between these guys, and Ronan might have had sort of thought for a move that doesn't become successful at all. Now who are we going to see at the moment? Certain no assist, Sebo, Chris. The gap is 9.3 seconds. Sure, the time Sebo pits, Chris is going to fall behind, but are they going to pit? Sure, 36 laps can't be done on a single set of these full wet tires, but was lap 10 very early. He might be looking at a two-stop strategy though, but we'll see how it stands, as these guys, Ronan is not giving up at all. He's giving it everything as well, but so is Yasser. But let's have a look at that, as these two are going to fight, and surely Ronan is very slow. You could even see that he's braking very early, even than the AI, but we'll see what with this is going to be provided out here. Big train of cars around there before the leaders, and no assist has crashed. That would have been something we might have missed, and that we just were focused on other parts of the drivers of the Grand Prix, and that was probably no assist his only chance. Remember, he crashed in the race earlier as well, and before, but sure, that wasn't much good race. This time a P4 was on the cards, and maybe even a podium. That has made his car ruin, and is this guy going to be making a way where no assist crashed? I want to say, where did he crash? And this is the wall that he hit, and we could see his car just before it got cleared up. That sure would have. Is the stream back? Hopefully the stream would be back though, because I think some kind of an error was out there, but there you go. We are at the moment seeing pit stops now. No Sebo getting that pit stop, free behind the safety car. Noah is going to pit anyways as well. so would be certain. All the top 3 drivers now going to be pitting, and definitely that is going to spice up the things. Now No Seba would be leading as we go off the safety car as well, but who's going to be exiting first? And definitely that will be Chris in second place and certain in third, but sure as the safety car it will be, it is going to make these guys and the whole grid get closer to each other as well. So Ronin at the moment currently in P7. I think he has a very good chance of a close up to the field and overtake a few cars and get as good as P4, and that is No Sebo with all of these guys around. We're gonna try and see things with this safety car, the silver safety car actually, which used to be a thing. I wonder if the stream's on though, because if you could please let me know the stream is on, because this is very interesting. I think it just turned off for some reason. This was definitely not intended, or not something I would have wanted, but it might have happened. But we're gonna try and do the best we can with this Grand Prix running at the moment with the safety car behind. This is gonna be pretty cool, as there we go, we are finally back with stable again, and that is lap 16 out of 36. Many laps remaining now. Even the safety car doesn't go out this lap, go in this lap, might do it in the next lap or the lap after. I think it might do lap 18 safety car restart, so would be half race distance to the end of the Grand Prix. Exactly how much we've done, we'd have to do it again, but as it stands, it is lap 17 out of 36. These are screaming cars, engine screaming cars, which definitely are great to hear, but well, for how long it is, but are they great to drive as well? Sure they would be, but how much? Because definitely these drivers, especially No Sebo, who didn't have a good start at all. Surely I think he got off the line very amazingly, but he didn't got to much good of a start, and he's now almost gonna lose the position under the safety cars, just like he did it at the start. He didn't really got the better of a start you would have hoped for at the Grand Prix as well, and definitely that saw him fall behind because of running wide and making a mistake, which definitely didn't go well and didn't go expected way for, and no assists. Definitely the only retiree of the Grand Prix, but the man has crashed. I'm sure he didn't want to crash, but he has done so. But let's see what these guys provide us. I'm sure these guys are going to be able to support and carry the race on for how long it'll be. Is the safety car going to come in this lap? Only shortly. We should have the indication if it's going to come in this lap or not. I think we would have had the notifications by then now. So this is going to be not only lap 18, but a lap 19 restart, which is going to be taking another lap behind the safety car. But for how long is it going to be? I think this should be the last and final Grand Prix lap. We'll see for what it goes around. We'll of course try and get to the maximum around. There's definitely No Sebo. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes behind the safety car, he should be able to go through into turn 1 with a good lead, but he has to do that. Now, oh, Chris is in fact more closer to Certain than he is to No Sebo. He might lose that position with Certain really fast behind him. I'm sure this is going to be a very good mix of the grid at this point. We'll see more for how long, and I think the safety car should come in this lap, because we definitely want to see more racing laps and more racing action and get faster cars and quicker cars running out on the Grand Prix track, which we want to see. which is absolutely going to be exceptional to see as soon as the safety car is in, which you want to be in though. Is it going to be coming in this lap? No indication so far, but I think it should come in this lap though. And there we go. Race control safety car is going to be coming in this lap. Be ready everybody for the race start. And this is going to be Nosebo very, very slow already. Currently in third gear, downshifting to second as he went for it. He's just going to give it a little bit of a speed. And this is going to be fantastic. These guys, the top three, not only have to make sure that they're going to try and go defend their positions. They might lose their overtake, but lose their positions. But sure, Sebo might be losing his positions in turn one. This is very close, but I don't think Chris is going to go for it. He's a little far away, and that is going to be. And Serton's lost many, many positions. He's not at the restart he would have wanted. And that is absolutely disastrous. He might have just managed to walk out of that disaster, but that would have not ended. He would have wanted. Just got overtaken by for his P4 at the P3 again. And Chris Sniper now at the moment, really exciting to try and overtake Nosebo for that race lead. Chris, remember, was leading by many, many seconds. He pitted, and then he was leading by about 10 seconds, in fact, behind about 10 seconds, but that safety car was going to give a free pit stop to the drivers ahead, so he thought to might pit again as well. And I think now, again, this is going to be his best chance. Even before we get to that main straight, he might fancy a move, he might try and make the move, but when is it going to be? Sooner or later he might do it, but no assist, no Zeppo on those brand new tyres. Might be able to just go a little bit faster than him as well. And sure, he is, I think, really giving him the better competition than the previous race. And sure, that is seeing, I think Chris is going to be enjoying this a lot more than the previous Grand Prix. But for how long though before I think he's going to be able to overtake him though, but when, that you don't know. And that is now Ronin ahead of Certain out there as well. That is very interesting though. Ronin has made his way up as well. Certain has fallen massively behind after the restart. He's not headed the best way at all. Ronin now might be looking at the podium if he's just able to keep these guys. If he's just able to keep Certain behind, there might be a podium chance for Ronin as it gets. And there's going to be a biggest mistake by Nosebo though, just on the exit, doesn't seem to get it. We had won a DNF already, and Nosebo's best chance has been ruined by his own mistakes again. The start he had of the race, lost the lead out there, and as the safety car restarts, this was not what he wanted. Sure, just 2 laps. In fact, just 2 laps. This was in fact the second lap, and on the exit he was trying to defend, and I think maybe the pressure a lot more on Chris, but rather on Nosebo that has lost his car, and he would not want that. That is definitely some disaster for him, and I'm sure he's going to be regretting that inside that helmet, because that was his best chance of a Grand Prix victory. And there we go, Ronin currently in second place. That is exceptional as well. There is no safety car. That is not a safety car. And Kaufman is going to try and overtaking Ronin as well. Ronin has lost all those positions. Certain is back into third place, and he needs that second place now. Second place should be one of these guys. Definitely that mistake that he made was not what he would have wanted. I'm sure he never wanted that mistake, but these rainy conditions are really hard, and you know that even the likes of Chris could make such a mistake as well, because these cars are not that easy to drive. But we'll see how it stands. Now Certain and Ronin really close to Kaufman, but for how long are they going to be able to hold? Is he going to be able to hold them behind? And for how long They're going to be before they overtake him. And sure, not so long before Certain overtakes him though. Around the outside, he's going for it, but he's not going to make it easy for him though. He's going to give it a proper fight, but as he sure made the move stick, and now it is going to be running. He's going to try and make that as a possibility as well, but the Williams is not having it easy at all. He's trying to make it come back at him as well, as he's now going to try and defend from running, who's at the top. Who's not at the top, in fact, in P4 as it stands. Surely these rainy conditions are proving trickier, less for some and more for the others. But sure, some have managed to stay out on the track and not crash, but the others have been managing to put it in the wall. As it says, it's around the outside that is going to be, and that is going to be a move for Ronin as he makes it a Grand Prix P3 as it stands. But is he going to be able to challenge Certain though? We're sure Certain wasn't able to challenge. No Sebo though, but he's crashed out of the race, and that is now not his race anymore. The race that Certain would have to do now is with Ronin. Ronin currently 1.2 seconds behind Certain. He's only gaining on him. At least through these parts of the track though. But Ronin made a mistake as well at the start. Remember, he qualified P4, I think, or P5, somewhere around that. But we'll see what it stands. Currently on lap 22 out of 36. This is going to be interesting. The battle for P2 is going to start now, and it is now less than 1 second of the gap between the two drivers. That is going to be making it exciting. That is going to be making it worth watching. But before how long before it takes for all of us to be getting on it? I'm sure not so long though. That is lap 23 out of 36, and it's going to be Chris already on lap 23 and running still that gap at the moment from less than half a second. In fact, just a little more than half a second. But I think the RS zone, of course, missed a lot, and that shows why it was invented. It's really hard to overtake without it. But these guys, of course, pre-hybrid era, any cars, these are V12s, but any cars pre-hybrid era did not have any energy store system, which doesn't help as well. So these cars really tricky to overtake. I think especially in such conditions, you pretty much just have to wait for the others to make a mistake, or for others to fall down and you to make progress, because it is really hard otherwise. And you see No Sebo, surely he was in pressure, and I think he's just put it in the wall, and he's not going to be happy about that. I would definitely like to know how he's feeling about it. Yes, we will see what it weighs for these guys. Lap 23 now. It is going to become 24 very, very soon, as we will have Chris come across the line now on the main straight. He might have even just gotten his pace a little bit slower out there, but so that is going to be lap 24. These guys behind, within 1 second of each other again now. Certain gaining time, Ronin losing a lot of time out there, making him getting outside that 1 second of Certain, which I'm sure he doesn't want. But we'll see what happens, and that is very close out there. He was almost going to lose that car out there, Ronin, but sure, he's just kept it out there, and those podium chances, he wasn't going to let them go out of his hands, because these chances don't come every single day when drivers out of you crash to promote you to another position. Sure, he's done a good job there. The restart came back very, very nicely. And also, after No Sebo's crash, there was no safety car out there though, but still about 12 laps remaining in the Grand Prix. And now, ooh, Chris almost going into the back of a lapped car. He definitely would have not liked that at all if he almost had went into a car that he was lapping. But that is going to be lap 24 still though. and that is P3. Again, the gap coming down. Yeah, coming down within less than a second. But sure, it's going to go up. But actually, it doesn't really mean much. It does mean, it does basically mean, but it helps you overtake and get that slipstream. But in terms of the DRS thing, that it doesn't mean at all. Nothing. DRS not enabled. So it's more of like, unless the overtake is done, it doesn't mean anything yet. Especially in these conditions where crashes happen, mistakes happen, and drivers bottle victories and bottle podiums. But I'm sure these two, as it stands, are running great and safer. And the gap is now within less than half a second. This is going to be very exciting if Ronan is just able to overtake Sargent out there, both in that 1991 McLaren, and that's going to be just on that back straight. There we go. This is going to be a proper chance for him. He's very, very closer. Just less than half a second, in fact. But is he going to be able to make a move down the inside line? He will not. He should not be as well. That is far, far away. And that is definitely not going to be what he would have wanted. In a way, that is not going to be beneficial for him. Rather, he would end his race and the driver ahead's race as well. That would rather mean he waits for a better opportunity and try and overtake. But sure, overtaking in this game has been a lot harder compared to the ones nowadays as well. But sure, the great drivers, don't worry about that. The great drivers, the phenomenal drivers, just overtake them before anything's done. And now Neifer at the moment currently 9.7 seconds ahead of Certain, who's 7/10 ahead of these guys. And there you go, again, these lapped cars now. This might help Certain though, but ooh, that might go against him there before the lapped car goes out. Certain's trying to overtake. Certain's trying to overtake everyone out there as quick as he can. We're on lap 26 now, officially 10 laps are remaining, including the 11, including this one. This is pretty much, we're heading towards the end of the Grand Prix. It's going to be, Certain might have helped and gained some time. It is over 1 second now, and I think definitely those lapped cars, when those are in the way, especially if you're the car ahead, it really helps you try and overtake them very, very early, and then get the car ahead stuck in them. But sure, this is going to be the few tactics, the few points, and now Ronin's trying to overtake and lap these cars. But they might not make it's not a scene out there because a lot of bunched up AI cars in the middle between the battle of these two guys, which is gonna be exciting to see if this gap goes back to less than half a second once again, which I'm sure it might do so, considering it is in fact less than a second. And if the slipstream out there is, this might help him. A Certain may have went wide a little, and this is not what he would want. And sure, Ronin would be loving this if he's seen Certain make a mistake, and he's going to try and make some progress, and a lot more than before. But for how long, and for how much progress he's going to be able to make, and that is going to be lap 27 of 36 of the race, and that we're on to Chris Neifer once again. The man is once again dominating. I think no Seppo was a serious threat, but after he's crashed, he really not done that much good to himself or to his driver's championship points. But I'm sure he doesn't worry about that. As on to Monza, actually, it is going to be the Italian Grand Prix. It was Imola in 1991, but it's Monza here. But sure, it's going to be exciting as it were, because the game doesn't have it. But I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, as it'll be. Oh, there you go. Around the outside goes Ronin of Certain now. In fact, Ronin goes around the outside of Certain, make that move, and Certain now almost making the AI out there. This was an exciting move there, just in a little bit out there. And he's in fact done it before even thinking about it. Sure, he thought about it for multiple times before he done it, and that move is done from running. Definitely, as I said, the AI cars do things sometimes, and surely this might have been one of the causes of this, and that is going to be as exciting as it can be now on the main straight. This Ayrton's going to try everything. He's going to try and make running sweat hard, running work hard for the second place, and I'm sure in the previous race he couldn't take it, the second place. This time he might try to take it though. He just would be second in the Drivers' Championship because no step out, and there goes wide. Ayrton goes very, very wide, having a car ahead, a car in front of you, and really losing the focus of try and gain some times on them, and that only makes it worse for him. He's going to make a mistake and fall behind and do not what he would want to do. That is pretty interesting, and that is going to be lap 28 out of 36. These ending parts, these are the crucial moments. These are the parts that you don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to give up your position that you've kept up for the whole race. You know, you don't want to be keeping up position for the whole race and losing it out just out there. But I think sure, Ayrton, there's that pace, but those mistakes would be costing him a lot. I think might have cost it already, but with this competition, nothing seems to be affecting. But sure, that second place is affecting though. He would love to take that second place and get his oh, there you go, he goes very, very wide, and he's going to receive another penalty for corner cutting. We were just focused on running out there, and he's just going to slide out there. Sure, both of them are in fact on similar laps of tyres. In fact, running is on a lap older tyres, but Ayrton's now really not having it at all. He's maybe losing all the focus. And now with that 5 second time, in fact, I think it's a 3 second time penalty or something, but we will have to see how big that penalty is though, and that is 5 seconds in fact, so that is going to be very crucial to even keep that third place now, because the gap behind is 3.8 seconds. So that is going to be very, very crucial to not only now try and overtake Running for second place. Running might just have it. He comes in, he makes a comeback, or just joins the season in the second race and really gets the race second place out there, which is going to be exceptional to see. I'm hoping that though, because we will see what we can do. Ooh, that is going to be very, very close out there. Ayrton now 2.2 seconds, and that is he's only losing time to the car ahead now. I think sure that pressure was really getting to him. He's making mistakes again and again, and that definitely hasn't really went in his way out there. And it is Chris the one again dominating by over 16 seconds. Remember, he won by 20 seconds plus the United States Grand Prix, and is going to be here at Interlagos to almost recreated his biggest competitor and protagonist for first place. Really crashed out in the Grand Prix session, which definitely didn't help out there, and this is really now has been smooth sailing and easy sailing for him, as it is now into lap 30 we're going to be going. So that is going to be 7 laps remaining till the end of the Grand Prix, including this one. And definitely the big mistake that Ayrton made was around here, which really made him lost his focus. And definitely those tires then burn out as well if you do a lockup or do things that you're not supposed to with these tires, and then it really burns it out there. But we'll see what we can get out of the top 3. So as it stands, with no assist and no Sebo crashing out, these guys will be getting all on the podium. But we're getting that little fight between Ronan and Ayrton, and Ronan really seems to be coming out at the top in that fight as it stands. So the gap is now 3.3 seconds with that one mistake. It wasn't sure it wasn't one throughout the race. He made the mistakes, but the one that made him lose the position, the one that made him lose the second place position that he absolutely wanted. And I'm sure it's going to be exciting to see what we can get towards the end of the Grand Prix. Still anything could happen though. Still Running could make a mistake and allow Ayrton, though he's not far away, though 4.5 seconds. So not that much closer. Not that far away though. That would do something for his race not going good. So there you go. Chris is into the pits now, as the gap was far away. He's going to come into the pits, and where is it going to be? Ronan's going to be overtaking Chris now out there. Chris really trying to make things interesting. This is going to be very amazing. Now Ronan's going to lead the Brazilian Grand Prix. If he thinks that his tyres are good, he might be able to do that, but 1.5 seconds might not be enough. But Certain now making that move. That gap might be closer, but being on brand new tyres, I'm sure he needs that extra fastest lap point as well, which is going to be interesting out there. Ooh, that was very, very close. This is fantastic. Sure, he would have wanted, definitely he's got some plans for the strategy, and this is not what he wants though, being stuck behind the AI. First place is just ahead of him, but how long is it going to be before he's just able to overtake him? This is very close. This is traumatizing for Chris at the moment, being stuck behind the AI. Sure, he wants to clear it up very, very soon and get into first place, get into the top of the Grand Prix again. But for how long is it going to take him before he's able to do that? And that is absolutely nice though, and almost going wide out there. Ronan, I think, has he just let Chris out there? This is not what he would have wanted though. I'm sure he wouldn't have let him pass though, without any reason out there. But we're moving on to lap 32 now, with just 4 laps remaining in the Grand Prix. The domination is becoming delight. The mistakes have become disaster for the two already. No separ, no assists out of this Grand Prix session. But what about this top 3? Are they going to be able to dominate it? And there you go, Chris Neifer pitted for that fastest lap, and that is for sure. Ronan keeps it out there, but 2.5 seconds. Of course, he's not going to try and pit, so he's really going to keep that. In fact, him and Certain are going to be keeping those 15-16 lap old full wet tires and go to the end. They'll almost have to do 20 laps on these full wet tires to go to the end of the Grand Prix as well. We're still tolerating things, and there you go. Certain finally laps another car, but it's now over 4 seconds ahead, behind those guys ahead. There you go, into lap 33. Now officially 3 laps remaining, but we will see for how long are these guys able to do. 4.1 seconds of Ronan. Chris, in fact, pitting 1 second, 1.5 seconds behind Ronan, exits the pits, and overtakes him again. That is really Chad strategy there, as they say, a Chad meme. But it's lap 33 out of 36. Ronan chilling around as well. I mean, sure, he knows he doesn't need to make any mistake though out there, because surely the gap behind is 4.6 seconds. But Certain's going to come and snatch it like no other. Sure, he's got a penalty, which is not going to help at all, but which is going to be very interesting to get things around. If any of these guys are able to keep these positions, I'm sure they will be able to keep this position unless they DNF, put the car in the wall and DNF. There shouldn't be any worries for the top 3 not taking their place though, because Ronan comes into the season finishing second place would be exceptional, and that is lap 34. It would be, as Neifer would be going into it though. Honestly, there's not much battle going around at this point of the race, but still we're trying to do the best we can, still trying to get the most of this session as now Knifer puts another quickest lap. He doesn't want to lose out on that fastest lap at all. He knows there is no threat from these two guys though, but still he doesn't want any threat out there. He wants to be putting it the best way possible as it is, and it will be lap 34. The 34 and 35 laps done by Chris and all of the others as well. It's gonna get it on to lap 36, which would be the final lap of the Grand Prix, but I think we're far away from that. Not far away though, but still not on it as it stands. Currently lap 34 out of the 36 as it stands. There we go. I mean, there's not much action going out there though, because we're really trying to focus it out on any action. Actually, let's try and see if there's any action at any other part of the Grand Prix, and that is definitely Correa and Callisto. Having a look at it, Correa and Callisto might try and fight each other out there, or maybe the driver behind will have a look at it as well. Are they going to go on the inside? This is very close between the two. This is in fact very close between all of these guys, maybe a lot more than some of the top guys, but sure, this is going to be interesting to see the bottom places in the Grand Prix as well, as we are on to lap 35 now. But sure, we're doing the best we can. 2.5 seconds. Oh, he's pulled that gap off. I think that gap was over 4.4 seconds. Sentence put it into 9.7 seconds, but of course the mistake can't be undone. Those mistakes can't be undone. Those regrets can't be undone. So that is going to be only as good as P4 for certain, as long as Ronan doesn't make any mistake and doesn't do much worse than what he's doing. Sure, he's doing decent enough, and towards till the end of the Grand Prix, not going to be any problems before he takes that second place. And that is very interesting. That is a pink suit from a driver, but that is going to be again these guys very close. Benetton against the McLaren, who's going to be coming out on top. The Benetton driver is going to try and make the move. McLaren's going to try and defend around the outside. Benetton's going to go for it. Both their wheel to wheel. He's going to have a switch back. In fact, they almost collide. They're still going to go for it though. Now not much of a chance out there. But sure, that is going to be final lap's going to begin. Final lap is going to begin, and that is going to be lap 36 out of 36. Chris again didn't have the session he would have wanted though. I think sure he's still dominated by over 15 seconds, but in qualified P2 and over 6 tenths behind P1, and then in the race he was challenged by No Sebo even before, not that much. Again after the safety car he was, but he pretty much made him in pressure make that mistake and put it in the wall. That sure has been another dominance. Sure, after the race we'll be catching up with all these guys. Exciting and interesting out there. That 14 seconds gap. Surely Certan's now within 1 second, but not much could be done. He has a 5 second penalty, which is going to be taken, and that is absolutely going to be in a way not the best for better interest for Certan though. But has he made the move successful? He in fact has made the move successful, just out on track, but sure he has done it though. That one, he'll be back into first place. That's our third place, but sure he's outdone it out on track as well. And now Chris Knifer is going to come home to win the Brazilian Grand Prix again as well. That's going to be 2 in a row for him, and that's going to be Certan 2 in a row, finishing in second and third. And that is going to be a crash towards the end, but that is going to be third place for him. And I'm sure we'll be catching up with these guys at the end of the race as well. And Ronin wins the driver of the day, and I'm sure deservingly so. That is going to be fantastic, because that is pretty amazing. And those are your podium celebrators, the top three again, doing the best they can. Fantastic performance. There you go. This is your race. Certain got that penalty, which only was the reason. He in fact recovered from those mistakes as well, getting second place, but that would not mean anything out there, which we will get on to see how it stands, as we are now gonna be trying the best than the rest. And that's going to be exceptional. So I'll just get the confirmation if we are going to be in fact having those post-race interviews or not. But sure, we'll see how it stands and how will it be. Sure, it was a great race and an amazing one to have a look at, and definitely should have enjoyed. Maybe not, no Seba wouldn't have enjoyed it, but sure, others did. So there we go. We will be joining for the post-race interviews, guys. Stay around here. Don't go anywhere. So that is going to be us joining these guys for the post-race interviews. Of course, our podium finishers that did a fantastic job and sure deserves appreciation, and some questions that we might have for them to answer. Absolutely, we will ask them what they think of the race that went so far, and I'm sure they would love it to answer as well. So that is going to be interesting, as we are going to be going on now on to the guys.
Hello, Zabin.
Hello, hello. Hello, sir.
How was the show? Did you like it?
Absolutely. Sebo, I thought that Sebo was going to do some challenge to Chris, but that didn't really happen though.
Yeah, exactly. He went to the wall and
Yeah, yeah.
damaged his car. So
Yeah.
he was pushing. He was pushing a lot.
Yeah, definitely. He made a few mistakes before as well, and definitely ended in the wall.
Yeah. So do you want to start with Chris?
Yeah, sure. So Chris, another another victory, 2-2 for you. Sure, you didn't have the qualifying you would have wanted, a few tenths off the pole position, but definitely got it victory in the end.
Yeah, I tried to have the best qualifying, but I got a Ferrari, and there was not ideal car for this track. And I tried to represent Italy with the car and with the Ferrari. So okay, the qualifying was not the best, but in the race, my luck was that it was raining. So who has the best car control usually wins, and in this condition. So it was a condition that I liked, because I can do well in the rain. And it was a bit frustrating because you could not flat out in basically not in many part of the track. So it was all about the mind and gas pedal. And yeah, at the end you put some pressure on Serbo, and he unlikely went into the wall. But and then my race was just bring it to the end. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he surely did bring it to the end. No Sebo bottle it, but not everyone did so.
Yeah, he was. He could have won this race actually. He had the pace, the car, but the concentration maybe there it was not enough.
Yeah, next race, Italy. How are you looking forward to that?
Pretty excited to use the Ferrari again in that track. Uh, Imola, Italy, that's my country, so yeah, I'm going to do well, I hope. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And certain now, you made a mistake going well first, made a few mistakes, then recovered in the end as well, but that penalty definitely didn't help, did it?
Yeah, exactly. I made several mistakes actually, and when it rains, for me, it's bad luck because I don't like it. So it's the opposite of Chris, and it was one of the toughest races in my life because these cars are already crazy. Imagine with the rain, they are like very frenetic. I don't know, hard. So yeah, unfortunately I got a penalty because that was one of my biggest mistakes, and I managed to overtake Ronin at the very last lap because he made a mistake too, but it wasn't enough because of those 5 seconds. But anyway, I'm happy. I'm sorry for Sebo and Assis, which were demonstrating to have a lot to prove today, but. Let's see next race. So I hope it's not gonna rain even in Italy.
Absolutely, we'll have the sprint as well, so sure it'll be double action and double excitement for everyone.
Oh yes, you're right.
Yeah, so that'll be it for the post-race presentation, and
Okay, thank you, man.
thank you.
See you Friday then.
Yeah, sure. See you too.